Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you another PlayStation 4 review, and today's review is for Vikings, Wolves of Midgard. An action RPG very much in the style of Diablo 3, so it's like a top-down isometric dungeon crawler type action RPG. And it's a game I've had my eye on for quite some time. It turned up in the most recent sale in the PlayStation Store, and I took advantage of that sale, and I've been playing it quite a lot over these last few days, and I have to say I'm quite enjoying this one. I'm not going to lie, it's a game that, well, in regards to story, I always find these types of action RPGs to be really light on story, and essentially what you get here is, I mean, you get to create your character at the beginning, and it's not extensive character creation or anything like that. And then you're thrust into the game. Your Viking village is under attack. You've got to save it, and then once you do that, you then have to head off to raid villages to get resources, take your revenge on your enemies, that sort of thing. Along the way, meeting many familiar mythical beasts. It's the kind of thing you get in these type of games. I'm always disappointed with the story with most of these action RPGs. They're not on the level that I would like. However, the real strength on games like this is the gameplay loop, and it is really quite addictive here as well. And essentially what happens here in this game is you have your hub, which is your village, and your village, you've got your usual things. You've got you've got a blacksmith, an armourer, a rune keeper, an altar where you pray and upgrade. And as you go out into the world and do missions, you will find people that will come back and add to your village, merchants, things like that, to improve it and make it stronger. So you will essentially, in your village, you go to your blacksmith, your armourer, do the deals that you want to do, sell the things that you've collected in missions, upgrade all the things you want to upgrade, and then you will go out into the choose a mission, go out into this hub of a mission, onto this map. You can the idea is to get to the end part of that map and fight the boss, but there is a fair amount of exploration encouraged here as well, because there are some objectives for you to achieve, and the things like find all these supply crates and smash them, destroy all the huts, all the stone pillars, all these flags, chop them down, that sort of thing. And if you do all these things, you'll get extra rewards at the end of the level. And yeah, you've got to hack and slash your way through these levels, take on all these enemies, get to the final boss, and then defeat them, get your rewards, and head back to your village and reap the rewards of what you've done on the level. Now, you will also, in each level, you will collect things like gold, wood, and iron in order to upgrade things back at your village, especially your altar. Now you will pray at your altar in order to upgrade your character. Now you start down at level 1, this altar, and then as you collect blood in the level, which is like a currency, as you kill an enemy, like some blood floats in the air that ends up going into your character. The more enemies you kill in the most stylish ways and things like that, so for example, if you kill like 4 or 5 enemies at once, you'll get more blood. You can go to your altar and upgrade your character, different aspects, health, attack speed, strength, the usual stuff. But there's also something called gifts in the game, which are essentially skill points, and these gifts are directly linked to a playstyle. So you've got you've got your two-handed, you've got staff, one-handed, dual wielding, and bow. And these are all like the different styles that you can play the game, and they're all directly linked to a Viking god. So you've got gods like Thor, Odin, Loki, and a couple of others, and they're linked, like I said, to these play styles. And you can go in there with these gifts, essentially skill points, and upgrade the play styles that you want. And the better the altar, as you upgrade your altar with the more blood that you collect, the better gifts, i.e. skills, you can upgrade for your character, and it makes him more and more powerful along the way. The levels get progressively more difficult, but there are also options at your village to like go into extra levels that they're called hunts, I believe, and you can go and like hunt all these wolves and things like that to upgrade your character a little bit quicker, because you don't want to be going into some of these tougher levels underpowered. So you can go on these hunts and improve your character that way. I think the level design is pretty good here on this game, no problem at all. I think the environments look pretty nice, the graphics are nice, the variation of enemies are really inventive and nice, and I just think overall I think the game looks pretty good. It's got a full array of voice acting here. Now, it's not the best voice acting I've ever heard, but it's certainly not the worst either, and it certainly does its job. It's just a shame, in my opinion, that the story doesn't do the voice acting justice, if that makes sense. I would have preferred a better story. It's just a little bit of dialogue here and there, and as your character's hacking and slashing away, he will fire out battle cries and the usual sort of things, and taunt his enemies. So it's another one of those dungeon crawling type games where you'll be drowning in loot, and you've got to sift through it, find out what's strong, what you want to use on your character, what's stronger than what you've already got. So you'll find yourself in menus quite a lot, putting on different pieces of armor and using a different weapon, which works really quite well. It's if you play these games all the time, these type of action RPGs, it's ultimately it will be extremely familiar to you. But the thing runs really well. I've not had any graphical issues with the game at all, not that I can remember. I've had no crashes, and I've put quite a few hours into this game now. The thing runs as smooth as butter as far as I'm concerned. It tries to make use of the environment in a sense of there are some destroyable parts of the environment, but also it makes use of the cold as well, and other areas too. For example, if you stay out too exposed in the cold, you'll freeze to death eventually, so you need to find campfires to warm yourself up in. There are other levels where it's like the air is poisonous, so as you're travelling through you're getting more and more poison, so you need to get to the safety of some caves where the poison isn't to like clear your lungs and then carry on. So it kind of rushes you along in certain parts of the level because you need to find a fire or a cave to make sure you stay alive. So it gives you a little bit of something else to think about. When you go back to your village, as you kill the bosses, your throne room is decorated by the heads of the bosses that you've taken down, which is really nice. It gives you a sense of progression as you play in the game, and I really do like some of these bosses at the end of the levels. They're really fun, nicely designed, and you've got to think on your feet on how to beat them, really. They are quite different, and they give you different challenges to overcome. There's some light puzzling involved on some of the levels, figuring out how to open a door by moving a dial on something to find the right combination. Nothing overly challenging. Some very light character choices on dialogues. You get to choose different responses here and there, and it's just addictive game, this. You go into the levels, hack and slash, have some fun with it, and just rinse and repeat. If that sounds appealing to you and you like these type of action RPGs, I think this one is really quite high quality, and I'm really having a lot of fun with it. So there is multiplayer available. The camera is fixed. It's a fixed camera, you can't spin it round. So if you want to play this multiplayer, you've got that option as well. I haven't really tried the multiplayer because it's not my sort of thing, but I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. I think it's a pretty strong game, certainly in the genre. And for those of you that like action RPGs and have never played Wolves of Midgard, definitely pick it up in a sale. It will certainly be worth it, and it'll give you many hours of fun. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you liked the review. I will be back obviously with more content very, very soon.